It's the year 1967 and the Beatles have just lost their long-time manager, the glue that kept the four of them together, Brian Epstein. It's safe to say that this is the point where the Beatles really need to rebuild their life, because by now they had become reasonably famous. Each one of them had acquired multiple talents. They all wanted to write. They all wanted a better say in how the music should be created. They all wanted a better say in how the song should be written. And so there was a lot of bickering as well because of the competition between Paul McCartney, John Lennon. What they decided to do in 1968 is why this wonderful place, which now stands in ruin, is called the Beatles Ashram. Decided to come to India and learn transcendental meditation under the tutelage of this man right behind us. And it's through this process of going within that they ended up creating the most successful and critically acclaimed music album, which they called the White Album, and they named it after themselves, the Beatles. Hit songs like Cry Baby Cry, Julia, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, all of them, they came as a result of this period of introspection and meditation and stepping away from the grind. This journey that the Beatles undertook to rediscover themselves, reconnect with their music. They ended up creating so much music in this period that John Lennon said, I know I was there to meditate. I don't know how much of that I did, but I sure as hell know that I ended up creating some of my best songs. In fact, one of the things that made this music special was that in the post-production, they put in minimal interferences with technology. See, when they were here, all they had access to was an acoustic guitar. And as a result of that, the intrinsic flavor of the music that they created here was very natural, very basic, very acoustic. This is actually what formed the backbone of the success of the tracks in this album. You see, there's the thing about pain. If you don't experience pain, if you never experience your life falling apart, you'll never feel the need to go within and connect with the higher source, connect with the higher inspiration. Spirituality is a catalyst for creative expression. And if you're rebuilding your life, no matter what the circumstances, failure, divorce, whatever, maybe you changed countries, whatever happened, if you're rebuilding your life, the most important component of that change has to be spirituality, has to be a deepened spiritual connection. Spirituality is connecting deeper with why you do what you do. It's not unless you are connected with your purpose at a spiritual level that you will be able to grow beyond, look beyond, move beyond the vagaries of life. Pain is just a catalyst for spiritual growth, and spiritual growth is the biggest catalyst for creative growth. Spirituality is what awakens your mind to the reality that there is an end for the body, but there is no end for the soul. There is no end for your purpose. Even without your body, your purpose lives on. Maybe you'll be done with this body. Maybe you'll be done with this physical vessel. It's fine. You will continue your journey with another physical vessel. That is the nature of life. There's a dichotomy of understanding the fragile nature of life. On the one hand, there never is nearly enough time. And on the other hand, you have all of eternity. So the real question to be asked is, if your time is unlimited, what would you choose to do? What would you choose to create? Will you still choose to make lame excuses? The life is short, I gotta do what I gotta do to pay the bills, to get by, to live until time runs out? Or will you choose to go beyond the fear of the finite? Even if this time whatever you're engaged in is incomplete, you must accept that you have all the time in eternity to complete it, because the body has limits, but the mind does not. A snake sheds his skin, and in the same way, ultimately we'll have to shed this physical body. In the same way, within a single life, you will have to shed many, many personalities to become the masterpiece that you are. It's not unless you become the masterpiece as yourself will your best work come through. And it's not unless your best work comes through will you have the life that you've imagined, or a much, much better life than you have ever dared to imagine. If you had your life to live all over again, if you did everything differently, even then, there will still be cycles of death and rebirth. There will still be cycles of destruction. Because it's not unless that the old is destroyed that the new can come through. And so therefore, if there is one thing that you can do after you've given your best, after you've put in the work, is to be true to what you feel, true to what you believe, true to what flows out naturally from the core of your being, and surrender. Because it is only by surrendering to a higher force, no matter how abstract, it is only by surrendering that you become fearless. And it is only when you are fearless that your best creation can come through, that your best life can be attracted to you. Spirituality is important because it introduces you to your infinite potential.